function declarations and function expressions, now it's a time to learn about arrow functions, which is also another form of function expressions, which was introduced in ES6. Okay, and it is also a little faster and easier to write. So let's see arrow functions in practice. So here, let me write it first. Arrow function, and then I'll just quickly copy this example and full name 3 I'll give it. Okay, so this is the way which we discussed in the previous lecture. Like this way only we used to write function expressions. So now let me transform this into arrow function. So in order to transform this into arrow function, what we will do is we'll remove this function keyword, and let me actually paste it here, and then we don't need this curly braces either, and this return keyword also. All we need is this arrow keyword, because this plays a main role in creating a arrow function. So as you can see, if you have a single liner code and you wanted to use it in a function, then arrow function will be the best choice. Here we don't even need the curly braces, we don't need a return keyword to return something. If it is in same line, then it will automatically return whatever you have wrote right after this arrow keyword. So now let's see if it works or not. Okay, so I did a little mistake here. Instead of 2, I have to use 3. So if I refresh it, so now as we can see, we are getting our name formed here, which is coming from this line, and we have stored its value into this full name 3, and we are successfully getting our value from line number 99, which is this line. Okay, so this is one way of writing an arrow function. So what if you don't want to pass any parameter into it? Then you just simply remove this, and then it will again work the same way, but now without any parameters. And since you haven't used any parameter here but you have passed, so that doesn't matter, because it is not getting used anywhere at all, so it won't create an issue. But it is not a good practice to do so. If you are not using any parameter, then make sure you are not passing anything into it. Okay, so this is one of the way where we don't pass any parameter, and then we use this arrow function. And if we are passing a single parameter, then we can use it like this. We don't even need this parenthesis, we just need that parameter name, and then we can use it like normal. Okay, so let me write down both the examples. I'll comment out that one. So without parameter, it will be something like this. And with parameter, or we can say with single parameter, okay, it will be something like this. And what if you want to pass multiple parameters? So in that case, what we will do, let's comment this one out as well, and then along with the last name, let's add the first name as well. Okay, so now we have multiple parameters, and you can see we start getting error because we can't pass multiple parameter without using this parenthesis. So if you are using multiple parameters in arrow function, then you need to wrap them in a parenthesis, then it will work just fine. So here I'll change the string a little bit. My name is, let's make it small, and then this also let's pass from the parameter. Okay, so instead of just passing the last name, we have to pass the first name as well now. Okay, so let's see what happens. If I refresh it, then we are getting our console. My name is Raunak Srivastava. Okay, so in order to use multiple parameters, you need to wrap them around the parenthesis, and then if it is a single liner code only, in that case you don't need the curly braces. Okay, but if you need to write some multiple line of codes, then in that case you may require the curly braces like this. Okay, if you have a multi-liner code, then you need to write it inside of the parenthesis. Okay, so I have created one variable where we are using this first name and last name, and let's create another string, make it const actually. I'm a coder. Okay, so what we will do, we will join these two and then we will return it. Full name plus job. So if you have multiple lines like this, then you may require the curly braces. Okay, so now let's see what happens if I refresh the page. Okay, so my name is Raunak Srivastava. I am a coder. Because we are doing multiple lines of operations, so we need this curly braces and we need this return keyword as well, because we don't require this return keyword if we are writing a single liner code only. Okay, here we are losing a little grip of, or we can say the advantages of using the arrow brackets, arrow function. So now the question arises again, like which function we should use. Is it the function expression, function declaration, or arrow functions? Or we should use the arrow functions everywhere? So the answer is, it is all up to your personal preference, but you should not use the arrow functions for all the cases, because there is some basic difference between the arrow functions and the previous functions. That is, it doesn't have its own this keyword, and more about this keyword in the upcoming videos, because this is also a big topic in itself. So if I try to cover everything in a single video, then you will get super overwhelmed and you won't understand anything at all. So for now, we will be taking the baby steps. We will be learning about how the things are working, how we use them, and then we will go into depth in the later videos. Okay, so for now you just need to know that arrow functions, I'll write it down here as well, doesn't their own this keyword. And again, more about this later. Okay, so this is how we use the arrow functions. These are the multiple ways in which we can use it. Let me stretch it a little bit so you can see clearly. Okay, so we don't need the function keyword. Instead of that, we need this arrow keyword. Okay, so this is all about arrow functions. Now see you in the next one.